Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we are returning to the Great War Western Front. This is a new turn-based and real-time tactical war game, which looks at the Western Front from the winter of 1914. It starts in December 1914, so after the trenches are established, up until 1918 when the war historically ended. You can play as either the Allies, or I guess technically the Entente, so the French, the British, and then later the Americans, or you can play as the Central Powers, but in reality that's just the Germans. The goal in the game is, well, there's a couple of different game modes. One of them is some tactical historical battles, which are easy to jump in and play kind of historical looking conflicts that are a little bit more scripted and whatnot. And then they have a sandbox mode, which allows you to kind of jump into something more sort of randomly generated. But I think the core of the game is really the campaign. There's also multiplayer for sandbox stuff too. But I think the core of this game is going to be the campaign, which allows you to play as sort of the field commander, or I guess the theater commander on the Western Front, while also playing battles out tactically on maps. One of the cool things that happens in this game is that as battles are fought on maps, those maps are transformed. So you launch an artillery barrage that destroys a village, a town, or whatnot, that map will gradually become more and more cratered over the course of the war. Additionally, trench lines and other things like that, I believe, carry over from battle to battle, and so you can really begin to build completely, you know, huge fortifications across your front. Now, we did play the first battle of this campaign on my YouTube channel earlier today, or I guess if you're watching this live, it's yesterday, which was a battle near Arras. We won that battle and we reduced the enemy's defenses from 2 stars to 1. So now one more victory at Arras would push the British out and allow us to drive in to Arras, take that territory, and then perhaps begin, you know, splitting the Allied lines. Right now, the French positions move as far north as Villers Bretonneux, I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that, and Arras is sort of the first British unit, so we'd be able to sort of split the line between the British and the French and perhaps push in. But you can see the British have quite a few reinforcement stacks here at Calais, so it's probably not likely to generate a true breakthrough. And we have an actual sort of objective or event where we need to defeat 10 French infantry companies, and we'll get a bonus of gold from our high command. Speaking of gold, we've got about 7,300 of them down here in the lower left. We've got about 2,064 supply in the lower right. We already fought with the forces at Lille, so we cannot use them again this turn. So if we do want to attack Arras here, it'll need to be out of Péronne. I would like to try and do that. So let's go ahead and do that. We only have 2 cores, so we're going to be a little bit weaker than we were in the last battle. I'm also going to build a supply depot here, which will cost us 600 more gold, so spending a lot of gold here. But the depot for both Lille and Péronne will be useful in any attacks on Villers or on Hazebrouck or Ypres. So perhaps those 2 hexes are worth having depots in it, even if we do drive in and take Arras. So let's go ahead and launch this battle right away. We have up to 700 supply. 2 cores are moving forward. So yeah, let's do that. You can see if we auto-resolve, the game is forecasting a stalemate. I don't want to do that, so we're going to go ahead and engage in the battle and jump right into the tactical battle. Do I have any troops available for a potential breakthrough? Well, breakthroughs are a little bit complicated in this game. You've got to reduce the enemy fortifications from 1 to 0 in order to take a territory. I'm assuming we won't generate like a true breakthrough. I'm guessing the enemy will fall back. I don't know if we'll have any like actual open hexes to advance. I've never taken a hex before, so I guess we'll see what happens. All right, so this is the first time we're attacking out of this territory as well. So you can see the landscape is pristine. It is snowy, but there's like no craters or anything. Although, didn't we fight in this? I'm not sure if it's the map. Well, this is definitely a different map than we fought on last time, because last time we had a village in the center of our lines, which it does not look like that is the case anymore. I'm curious if you get a different map for each like star on the bat. Like, does it represent that we push them back to another defensive position? I'm not sure. In any event, we have 40 infantry companies to draw from. We have up to 30 that we can deploy on the map at any one time. If we take a look at the enemy positions here, A has sort of a 3 stack of trenches on the right. They've got the headquarters tent, which is another 3 stack of trenches. And then on the left, they've got 2 stacks of trenches at B. We don't have a lot of cover to advance on B. It looks like it's mostly open terrain. Advancing up toward the command trench, at least there's a nice wooded hill here that we would potentially have an advantage deploying out of. I don't know if this is supposed to be like a headquarters or something. It's weird because it's kind of looks like it's one of those victory points, but it's not. And then also AA, we've got a bit of wood cover on the right as well that would potentially allow us to flank there. Well, keep in mind it's December of 1914, so the trenches are not built up as they would be later in the war. The map will transform dramatically over the course of a campaign. All right, so our troops cost 5 supply to deploy. They cost, I believe, 10 once the battle erupts. So we'll go ahead and put 4 units here in these 2 hexes in front of the X objective. Then we'll put 2 and 2. You can only put troops in trench lines at the start. You can't deploy them in open terrain, by the way. All right, so those guys will protect both the headquarters here and objective Y, I guess nominally. Maybe we should build some trenches here, just in case. So we're going to build a basic firing trench. We'll connect these guys with a comms trench. Can I move them? Or once they're deployed, are they there? Yeah, okay, they move right away. Cool. So move these guys forward here. A straight line trench is probably not ideal, at least in the real world, where like you'd probably get blown the shit up by artillery and stuff. Why can't I not? There we go. All right, so we've got 1 battalion or 1 company in each one of those forward bases or hexes. These guys are still guarding the front of the headquarters unit, and then on the right flank we've got sort of a concentration of units out here. Our first attack is going to be on the A objective. So I'm also going to build another basic firing trench over here and here. We're going to go ahead and deploy the maximum number of troops on that flank. Now, the last time we fought the AI in the first battle of this campaign, they did get pretty damn aggressive and they came like right at me for an attack. So that does make me think we should perhaps just be cognizant of the possibility. Spending a little bit of our money here, basically building a fairly cohesive front line all the way across the map. So we've got trenches all the way along there. Nice. That's little interlocking trench lines. We do not have a lot of reserves to pull from, so we only have 40 battalions or 40 infantry companies total that we can use in this battle, because we only have 2 corps, which means as these units get destroyed, we'll have a limited amount of troops to pull out of reserves. We've got 22 units on the map. Let's go ahead and deploy some other units. We're going to go ahead and deploy some heavy artillery. You can see the cone of its range is up here. So where do we want to deploy them so that they can reach the most terrain? Ideally here, but I don't want to deploy them in front of the front. This will get us right to B. So I should be able to bombard these troops here. If I put the guns here and all of the headquarters trench. God damn it, that sucks. Is there anything back behind A, or is it all like right on A? A little bit behind A, but then the command trench is like way back there at the edge of the map. All right, I think this is our best bet for that heavy gun battery. And then this gun battery over here on the left will cover the B objective. That's all of our heavy artillery available to us. More advanced trench lines like further forward would be ideal. Oh, we could do. So let's deploy this guy here. And then let's do this. Let's go ahead and build some basic firing trenches. Oh, that's no man's land. I can't. Oh well, we can at least get one unit or two up here. So as long as they don't come through here, this light artillery is safe. MGs are going to be important if we think they're going to attack us. I don't know that they will. Probably not too worried about it on the right flank. The left flank is more concerning, I suppose. So let's go ahead and deploy this guy here. We could also put a machine gun. Oh, we can't put a machine gun over there, huh? All right, that's going to do it for our pre-battle deployments, I think. We do have a little bit of supply left. We can call on the maximum number of troops, I suppose. Stack the right up with 2 more. That's where the bulk of the attack's going to come from, I think. All right, so we've deployed the maximum number of troops. Go ahead and begin the battle. And we will see what we can pull off. Best of luck, Germany. For the Kaiser. All right, so the enemy has considerably fewer forces. The bars up here represent strength, so that is good. But we're on the offensive, so that's always something you got to be careful with. Does look like they did throw some additional trenches out here. So first things first, I don't have any balloons to give us better intel. So we're gonna move 2 battalions up here, 2 up here, 2 up here. All right, let's just get our troops forward and see what they see. It is snowing. It is bad visibility, so it's not ideal. Last time we were very methodical on how we approached, and we were very successful, almost in like a modern sort of find the enemy and then call artillery down on them. Like, it was much more modern warfare than I would say World War I. But, you know, sometimes it's just what you got to do. I don't see any indication of them having balloons, which is going to limit their line of sight. We also had this weird thing where both armies met each other in open ground, not in trenches. So, like, they were not dug in the last battle as well. We have to take all of the objectives to win a sweep, if you will, and that would take the hex from the enemy. Oh, shit. Pause. The enemy is calling artillery down, I think. They just... something. Yeah, they're calling it down on these men. They know we're here. Got to get out of the firing arc before they decimate us. We're losing pretty heavily down here. You can see these units have already lost like half their strength. They're sitting in the open and getting hit by artillery. Of course they're going to lose a lot of men. All right. Do we have any intel? So there's enemy infantry here in these trenches. No sign of any machine guns yet. All right, these guys are already dead. Gonna withdraw this company because if you withdraw, you don't actually lose. And these two battalions are going to charge forward for that hex, or that trench line. These two are going to charge for that. And this guy's going to move into the woods. Let's also call up 2 of our reserves. Oh shit, enemy troops in the open. Call our own artillery in. Right on the enemy in the open. Assuming they're still there, but we'll see if they moved out. Nope, we're pounding them. They're gunning my men down. There's a machine gun back here. Yeah, I'm butchering my boys. My boys! My beautiful boys! Give me the glasses! Alright, we're launching a suppression barrage over here to keep that MG from firing. We're launching a heavy pinpoint barrage on the troops over here. And we instantly died. The second we got in the trench. There was some other MG over here to the right as well. We need more troops. Everybody, go! Everybody in the trench line, move forward. I made a mistake with those guys. I told them to go one way and then told them to go the other. Alright, let's launch another barrage here on these troops that are in this trench line. The one positive thing is artillery is much more effective at this point in the war because your troops are still in trenches that are not very developed. Like the enemy trenches are not as advanced technologically speaking. And so their units are much more vulnerable to artillery fire. Now that goes both ways, but just something to consider. No, Raging Armenian. It's not the 12th wave. It's the 13th Battle of Isonzo. That's where you will achieve greatness. Every artillery barrage you call, and by the way, consumes supplies. So you can see down here in the lower left, we've got 181 supply left. That is all we have for the rest of the battle. I think we timed that artillery barrage pretty well. Our troops got into the trench pretty quickly there. All right, so we took those 2 front trench lines. Good job, boys. It did take pretty heavy. We did take pretty heavy losses, but we took the 2 front lines. We're moving more troops up. We're going to bring these reserves forward as well. Send in the fresh meat. Can we finish these guys off with artillery by themselves? I think there's more troops back here. Shit. They're dropping already on me. My boys are advancing through heavy artillery. Now, if you drop your own artillery on the enemy guns, God, they're getting destroyed. Is there an MG nest over here? I can't quite tell. All right, so that was dumb. You actually can't. So there's the skirmish formation and column formation, so they're kind of already in loose formation in theory. We're going to drop a harassing barrage on the right, a precision barrage on the left. I don't exactly know what's over here, so I'm just kind of guessing at what to shoot at. All right, we drove that enemy battalion or company back. We'll send our own troops forward. They'll quickly get into this trench line here. There's multiple enemy lines back here. I could call additional reserves in, but instead I'm actually going to bring forward these troops on the right flank because I think almost all the enemy troops are deployed here on the right. I could be wrong on that.
Wir haben neue Befehle.
Bereit für Feuerbefehle. Auf Feuerwalze vorbereiten. Unsere Ziele. Ladet sie nach. Granaten für leichte Sperrfeuer laden. Feuer!
Wir haben neue Befehle. Bereit an der Linie.
All right, let's pound these guys again.
Warten auf Befehle.
There's an MG over here, but I can't see it, and it's hitting me in the flank. All right, our reinforcements got to this trench here in time, so we defeated that British company. They're going to try and overwhelm us here. These guys are getting shredded. Can't see where the MG is. It's in this general direction. Just guess and drop arty on it. All right, we destroyed another British infantry company by the looks of it in hand-to-hand combat. Although our troops at the front here are getting pretty worn down, so we're going to withdraw one of them. We are beginning to take objective A from the enemy. We haven't destroyed all of them, but we're in the command radius of this objective. And they are not. Reinforcements from the right flank are coming up. We have 14 minutes left. Can we get these guys over here on the right? I think they have a command or communication trench, so they can move through the trench line and hit the enemy or machine gun from the rear. I'm guessing the MG's over here. They can throw grenades at it from inside the trench line. Yeah. Take out that gun. So that's a lot of grenades. That's like a comically large amount of grenades. All right, we took out that enemy MG nest. Yeah, the houses, we've seen a couple of buildings destroyed already. This one was destroyed earlier back here. All right, let's try and move. Let's move you forward here. We're also going to go ahead and withdraw this unit. Again, when you withdraw units, you do not suffer a penalty for like post-battle casualties and stuff like that. So if you can, it's ideal to withdraw units before they get fully destroyed.
Warten auf Befehle. Feuerstellung einnehmen.
Okay, so we've secured the position on the right, and we can actually draw reinforcements now on this right section of the map. Oh shit, enemy artillery. These guys got shredded moving up. And I'm going to need to bring in additional reinforcements if we have any chance of advancing on the headquarters tent. I'm not a fan of the 20-minute timer. I get it, kind of like it forces the action and doesn't let you be as passive as maybe you should be. I don't know. I'm just not, but I'm not a big fan of it. All right, let's bring in some reinforcements. We've got 13 squads we can bring in.
Endzugparty. Melde mich zum Dienst. Verstärkung macht Meldung. Verstärkung bereit.
We're gonna bring in 6 companies. Yeah, the pausing feature, that's
Eingetroffen und
nice.
warten auf Befehle.
Our supply is severely depleted. Yeah, I've only got 64 supply left, which means what, like 7 artillery barrages? Not a lot.
Bereit machen.
All right, go get these guys.
Achtung!
They're shooting at the battalion that's in the open rather than like the fact that they're getting overwhelmed in hand-to-hand combat, but okay.
Wir können hier nicht gewinnen. Wir haben neue Befehle. Warten auf Befehle. An der Linie.
All right, we have 12 minutes left. All right. So we defeated that enemy unit there.
Mannschaften bereit. Für Feuerweite.
Go ahead and call RD down on this enemy MG nest.
Bereit machen.
Let's send one of those companies forward. Oh shit, there's a whole bunch of enemy troops there.
Seid bereit, Jungs.
And they're gonna get obliterated. Oh nice, they ended up destroying the
Die Arme hoch, Jungs.
MG nest before they died.
Wir haben neue Befehle.
Bereit für Feuerbefehle. Bereit für Feuerweite. Unsere Ziele.
All right, call RD down. Hopefully it ends before my troops get too close.
Neue Befehle.
They're getting shredded. Why are they just stopping? Keep going, boys.
Schwenkt die weiße
Fuck.
Fahne.
Ladet sie nach. Feuerweite klar machen. Feuer. Positionen vorbereiten. Feuer auf diese Stellung.
Warten auf Befehle. Bereit machen. Wir halten hier die Stellung.
All right, go into those trenches. We got a suppression barrage on one of the units. All right, we destroyed or at least forced them to withdraw one of those guys. Get into the trenches. Oh, there's an MG nest there. Great.
Seid bereit, Jungs.
Well, we got into the trench only to get overwhelmed by the enemy counterattack, presumably.
Feuerstellung einnehmen.
Send everybody forward. We're gonna need every last man.
Wir haben neue Befehle. Auf der
Oh shit.
Bereit machen.
Maybe that was a bad idea.
Bereit für Feuerbefehle. Ladet sie nach. Diese Position mit Sperrfeuer belegen.
We're gonna lose this battle, aren't we?
Wir können hier nicht gewinnen.
We're almost out of supply. Situation looks dire.
Die Arme hoch, Jungs. Warten auf Befehle.
Well, we won the first time we fought this map pretty damn easy. Or not this map, but this enemy.
Schwenkt die weiße Fahne. Achtung.
I kind of wonder if the enemy has any troops on section B. Because it still says we're considerably stronger than they are.
Wir haben neue Befehle. Bereit an der Linie. Wir haben neue Befehle. Bewegt euch.
Are they retaking A? It says there's like a little green thing here, but I don't see any indicator that they are.
Positionen vorbereiten. Bereichsfeuerweite. Unsere Ziele.
There's our last bit of supply. Well, we're getting overrun on the right flank. Fuck, they're going to retake the objective. We've got 2 companies on the way up there, but they're not going to arrive in time.
Warten auf Befehle. Die Waffen niederlegen. Bereit machen. Feuerstellung einnehmen.
Get in the damn trench.
Achtung! Auf der Feuerstufe.
There's a lot of enemy machine guns on this flank. What are they shooting at anyway? Wow, we overran their machine guns with like no problem.
Wir müssen diese Stellung halten.
That's interesting.
Wir haben neue Befehle. In Stellung gehen.
Well, we're gonna take point B, I think, pretty handily. Oh shit.
Auf Befehl los.
Other way.
Bereit an der Linie.
Enemy artillery is gonna drop on your flank. Get into the trench. All right, I think we will be back in contention for this headquarters, for this objective. I'm not quite sure what happened with those MGs, but at least these 2 battalions are going to stop the enemy from overrunning us on the right. And I think we're going to take him on the left. So that'll be both objectives in our hands, nominally, unless they send some troops up the middle. Hey, diddle diddle, straight up the middle. There we go. Point B captured.
Bereit machen.
Can we send anybody up on this hill? See what they've got on the left flank, maybe? Yeah, I'm going to try and use the force. The problem is I have no artillery at this point. So I think my only real chance is to try and sprint straight into the actual headquarters trench, perhaps. We're playing on normal difficulty levels, so... I haven't used balloons yet either, Frag. The problem with balloons is they're very expensive. They're like 150 supply. So, especially in the early war, I'm not sure how often it makes sense. Like, I think it makes more sense to just... Oh, yes. I think it just makes sense to push your troops forward and sort of fire by recon, if you will. But we're going to come up right behind the enemy artillery pieces. Lol. A is being pushed. I don't think so. As far as I can tell, it's not. They have units there, but we do too, so it's kind of a stalemate. You can't take the objective unless... So I'm going to try something. Let's try and attack from the flank. I believe the angle you come in matters greatly. This is a pretty big gamble, but I believe if you come in on the flank, they can't really turn to shoot because their line of fire is all straight ahead, basically. Oh, but there's a machine gun there. Why are you guys not getting in the trench? Like, you're running past it. Okay. So they're bringing in reserves. Let's see if they get there soon enough.
Warten auf Befehle. Wir müssen los.
Nominally, the game still says we have the advantage in terms of strength, but that's got to just be based off our artillery batteries. We lost one of our battalions. They lost one of their battalions.
Die Arme hoch, Jungs.
Fuck. Their strength is very low, which is interesting. Like, do they still have troops here? That's what I'm kind of confused about. Who's at A? All right, so we got into this trench almost without casualties. We should overrun this British unit. They still have 2 units here. Okay. All right, so we took this trench line. Now all of these trenches are connected. So we're just going to advance and try and whittle these guys down. Meanwhile, they are going to try and fight me here in hand-to-hand. I think I've got the advantage at A with those 2 weakened enemy companies versus the 1 strength, 1 full strength one of ours. Where are they going? Like, everybody's just running around the trench and... All right, they're going to charge me, so they... I don't know that we have the strength to resist. We have the advantage in that we were there first. And so their initial company is beaten. This is close. They're going to win, I think, just barely. Meanwhile, our unit at A1. No, they surrendered. Okay. Actually, let's leave 1 behind, just in case. The question is, do they have full strength units in their headquarters trench? If they do, we're toast. Where are you guys going? We're going to finish taking a Pyrrhic victory, but a victory nonetheless. That sounds appropriate, right? This is World War I. Go, boys, go. Take the command trench. We don't know if there's anything in there. You can't see until you're in the trench what they have. Ah, fuck. There's 2 full strength units. I have no money for reinforcements. Do I have anybody else still on the map? Nope. On the left? Where? Oh my god, we've got 1 unit! Don't attack yet. You stay in that trench. Do we have time to get them forward? We've got 7 minutes. That should be plenty of time. As long as the enemy doesn't call in reinforcements. They don't seem to like to do that as much. I'm not sure if they spent all of their points building their entrenchments up, if it's because we're on the offensive and they're not. I'm not sure. Also, why is there a little blue icon here when there's no indication of enemy units near A? That was a costly victory. We haven't won yet. We're going to go on double time. They spent a lot on Artie. Well, they had the 1 unit that we destroyed, but we bought 4. Granted, we did have twice their number, so I guess that plays a factor, right? We had 2 cores and they had 1. I believe the sort of shaded color represents your non-deployed strengths, or 6 infantry sections. It looks like they may not have deployed everybody, but again, it comes down to supply, so they may not have had enough supply to deploy everybody. They dropped Artie whenever they could. I mean, we did too, though. All right, boys, into the trench. You need me to stream more, Doom? Well, I'll try. It's hard. I work a normal day shift, and I've got a kid, so it's kind of I don't have as much time to stream as I would like. Shaded is what you started with and lost. Is that the total you deployed and lost then? Because it wasn't, the shaded amount has changed. I've seen it move around a bit, I think. Anyway, we destroyed the last enemy unit, so we should take this trench, and then unless they have any reinforcements coming. Again, what's this blue thing? Is it representing a machine gun nest? Yeah, but I think you started with some shaded, Kia. I could be wrong, but I thought I did. Meanwhile, thank you guys to all the new followers. Are you kid, cool guy, J Joe, a drunk fly, Edold Fox. I already thanked the Raging Armenian. And Lycant Hot. I am definitely not pronouncing that right, but we won! Oh, good to know, Big. Sweep! We have pushed back the enemy and taken ground. The people back home will see this as a success. Will they, though? Will they? Okay, so the first battle we fought was very economical. We lost 4,000, or we lost 2,500. The enemy lost 4,000. However, we lost 6,100 troops in this attack. The enemy lost 6,000 or 3,600. They did lose 5 artillery, heavy artillery. We didn't lose any artillery. But yeah, that was not the best result. We did win primarily because we captured the map, but that was a very bloody victory. It was a victory, but it was a very bloody victory. And the replenishment cost of our losses is, I believe, 823 gold. So that was also very expensive. We did withdraw some of our units, which I think helped. But yeah, we do gain 9 national will. They lose 16. Still, it did not feel like a victory. Did you know going prone gives infantry companies a small level of cover even on open ground? Can I tell them to go prone? I didn't see that as a command. A great victory! I am not sure about that. Taking ground. We have completed the hard task and moved the front line forward by a significant amount. When success is measured in inches, a victory of miles is worthy of high praise. Well, it is December, so is it? Hey, that's interesting. So the enemy doesn't have any troops at Brûlé, which I don't have any troops to exploit that, do I? I don't even know if you can exploit that. Like, I don't know. I'm not really sure how that would work. But now we have a lone corps here in an advanced position with negative 45 regional morale from battle fatigue at Arras with 1 defensive value. So if the enemy counterattacks here, and they've got the forces on the southern flank to do so, we may lose this territory right back. It showed the kill. What do you mean? I'd have to go back and look, but yes, it did show the casualties. All right, can we deploy our reserves from HQ here to secure the position? Well, we definitely lost more than them, Charcoal, so I'm not sure. Our casualties were under our own score. I think that makes sense. I'm not sure. All right, let's see. Can we deploy one of our reserve corps? Oops. So how do I move them? Oh, yeah, that's right. All right, we're going to send one of our elite infantry corps and one of our regular infantry corps to Arras. So they're going to arrive and freshen up our troops there. We have a total of 3 corps here, which will give us considerably more strength on the defensive. There also is apparently a supply depot here, and the enemy must have had a depot in place, so that's nice. We get to capture that infrastructure intact. I don't think the game has that capability. I'm not really sure. I mean, all of our adjacent troops were expended in the attack, so I'm not really sure how we would push forward more aggressively. In any event, though, we did take this territory, and we built, we're building a little bit. The salient at Ypres is a little bit more pronounced now. They're going to probably have to move troops here. I'm assuming if they don't move troops here, then I can move their next turn. But I'm sure they're going to move troops from Calais down here to stop the advance. Push them into the sea! It looks like Amiens is already a level 3 defensive position, so that's not great. I would like to attack Hazebruch and extend the threat to Ypres further, but it's a level 3 section, and I've already attacked with all the adjacent troops. The troops who moved into Arras as a defensive boost cannot move a second time, and they can't attack if they just moved. We're also going to secure Peronne with a reserve corps as well. There's only one corps there right now, so let's go ahead and move one of our conscript corps there. I don't think it's likely that they will attack there, and even if they did, it would take 3 attacks for them to push us. Oh God. I just moved my entire headquarter reserve there, didn't I? I didn't mean to do that. Can I undo? Oops. Well, my bad. I guess they're not taking Peronne. That was dumb. Controls it. Yeah, I don't think there's a back. Guess we're deploying against the Brits in the north, huh? Peronne is the new headquarters. Do units if they were moved back to the headquarters, do they regain? I don't even know if these guys like lose strength between battles. I think you just pay and they get better right away. Are there any other easy places to attack at the moment? I guess we're going to move them next turn though, huh? Luganville, maybe? That's 3 stars though. So we do have this action to destroy at least 10 French companies, which we've only been attacking the British in this particular turn. All right, everybody, that's going to be part 2 of our look at The Great War Western Front, a game which is available on the 30th of March. That's when it officially launches, although if you order it now and you pre-order it, you actually get access to it as the 27th, which is now. So I guess you could say the game is out now. We did win at Arras. We successfully broke through the trench lines and took an enemy position, although we do not have the resources to exploit that breakthrough. And I'm assuming the British are going to bring reinforcements down from Calais in our next turn. This is one of those games where it's very challenging to maintain your momentum and maintain the attack consistently. We haven't really felt it too much yet, but you can really see that gold reserve is already down by almost 3,000 or a little bit over 2,000. The supply reserve is not in great shape, although it hasn't gotten too bad yet. The more you attack, the more you expend. It is difficult to maintain those things. We are going to launch an attack at the south, near St. Meinenhold. My goal is to cut off Verdun, so I've got 2 main plans. One, isolate Ypres, and then another isolate Verdun, and then hopefully we can bag a bunch of enemy troops. I don't really know how surrender mechanics work, but I assume if you surround an enemy force, you can destroy it. But that'll be for another time. Until next time, this is the Historical Gamer, as always, saying thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I'm out.